All right, so these are the potatoes that I diced up and boiled. These are Yukon Gold potatoes. I feel like they make a nice creamy whipped mashed potato. So we're gonna do these now. I boiled them probably for 12 to 15 minutes, give or take. And what I learned how to do is I brought them up to a boil, boiled them for maybe 2 to 3 minutes, then cut the heat down to medium high, put a lid on it, and just let them steam and cook. And every couple minutes I would, go stir them and check on them, make sure they weren't sticking to the bottom of the pan, things like that. I find that kind of works best for me, but, to each their own. All right, so for the mashed potatoes, I have about a half a stick of butter that's been softened to room temperature. It just makes it easier. And also I have found that if I put cold butter into my nice hot mashed potatoes, yes, eventually it will melt, but I feel like it changes the texture of things. So I kind of just use my room temperature butter. I always have some available. I'm going to be putting in black pepper. I like black pepper. I like to be able to see it in my mashed potatoes. I like being able to taste it. So, but your own preferences. Then I have garlic powder. And right now I'm just going to sprinkle some of that in. You can always add more later. A little bit of salt. I don't add my herbs until the end. And then I like to put a little bit of sour cream in mine. I know that might sound weird, but I think it gives it a really good flavor and a really good texture. Some people like to have buttermilk mashed potatoes, so it's like that tangy little bit of something different in them. I don't always use it, but for this particular recipe, I will. So this container, I probably have about a quarter of a cup left in this container, so I'm just going to use that. So we're going to call it a quarter of a cup of sour cream. If you found that the amount of sour cream I'm using, because that's just what I have left in this container, was not enough for you to have a creamy mashed potato, you can always add whole milk. We are going to, got my little stand mixer here, my little hand mixer. And I like to just kind of mash the potatoes up a little bit before I turn it on. Word of the wise, unless you like wearing hot potatoes, start low. All right, so I whipped up the potatoes, nice and fluffy. So now we are gonna add in our herbs and our horseradish, because remember, these are horseradish herbed potatoes. I think you're really gonna like that. If you don't like horseradish, That's fine. You don't have to add it. I just like it. My kids like it. So we use it.
Smells good.
Thank you. So, horseradish wise, I'm gonna have about a tablespoon. That's all you need. A little bit with this stuff goes a long way. And then also earlier, I chopped up some fresh parsley. So I'm gonna take a few pinches of that. Put them in there. So we need to check our salt. We need to check our flavor of our potatoes. So nice clean little spoon. Just get a little bit now that you've mixed it all in together. I think we need a little bit more salt. And a little bit more pepper. And you don't want the horseradish to be like the center of the potatoes. Potatoes are amazing. I love potatoes. Potato, if you will. Yes. So, Tia, I know you're going to appreciate that. So, you just want it to be in the background. You just want this nice background flavor of the horseradish. You don't want it to overtake it. Unless you're super into it. And by all means, do what you want. Clean spoon. Those are perfect. All right, up next, swordfish and scallops.